Giving babies their basic human rights, no matter how they entered our world. My name's Gianna Jessen, born 31 years ago after a failed abortion. But if Barack Obama had his way, I wouldn't be here. 4 times Barack Obama voted to oppose a law to protect babies left to die after failed abortions.
That was a new ad targeting Barack Obama for voting against bills that would have protected babies who survived botched abortions. Now, the woman in that ad, Gianna Jessen, was one of those babies. She is now a pro-life activist, and she joins us now. Gianna, it's a great honor to meet you. Thank you for being here with us. Your story is amazing. And how did you find out that you were 2 pounds at birth? Doctor says you'd never be able to hold your head up, sit up, crawl, or walk. You've run marathons.
By the grace of God, yes.
What an amazing story.
Well, I have the gift of cerebral palsy. I'm adopted, and I found out from my adoptive parents that I had survived an abortion.
What do you mean? When you say the gift of cerebral palsy, what do you mean by that?
Well, I'm just unashamedly a Christian, and I can't walk without the assistance of God. I wasn't supposed to move. So, I mean, I've got a lot of joy, and there are so many people that don't, and they want some. And so I feel like it's part of my mission to sort of spread that around a bit.
Well, you know, you do have a limp, but you still did these marathons, as you point out. You know, here's the issue of the Born Alive Infant Protection Act. Now, I have a tape, and we've played it about Barack Obama on this show and on my radio show. And in it he says, well, if we were to pass this bill, which was identical to the federal bill, if we were to pass this bill, then that would, you know, create an opportunity for the woman to second-guess her decision, or force a woman to second-guess her decision. These are children that are born alive, viable outside the womb, and he wouldn't provide the medical care to treat them 4 times.
So if he had his way at the time, I survived an abortion after being burned alive in my mother's womb for 18 hours.
Explain that.
But if he had his way, I wouldn't be here. So, you know, she was 7.5 months pregnant. Many people don't realize that at different points throughout the places throughout the United States, you can have an abortion at 9 months.
So your mother was trying to abort you?
Yeah, saline abortion, and I was being burned alive, and I was delivered alive in a clinic in Los Angeles after 18 hours. So the lack of oxygen to my brain is what caused my gift of cerebral palsy. How
were you saved?
And the abortionist was not on duty the moment that I came into this world. Hallelujah. Had he been, he would have ended my life with strangulation, suffocation, or leaving me there to die. He wasn't there. So a nurse called an ambulance, had me transferred to a hospital where I was placed in an incubator weighing 2 pounds. And one thing I'd just like to say is, if abortion is merely about women's rights, then what were mine?
Hey, Gianna, thank you for being here.
That's a good point.
Appreciate you doing the show. Obviously, we disagree about Barack Obama, but I'm very glad you're here.
Thank you.
And you've got an incredible personal story. So thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you, Alan.
But I guess the whole point here is that you're making the case that Barack Obama supports infanticide. And I think that's where the real differences are between those of us who support Barack Obama and those like yourself who don't. He doesn't want to kill babies.
Well, I would just ask you this. If he has voted 4 times against providing care for children that have survived abortions, well, what would you call that?